I think it goes without being said, sports fans all over are looking for that next big thing and the next big star. Yes, we love our current stars and our current living legends, but there's just something about finding out the next big talent. And normally when we find that next big talent, it's a great thing at first. We start giving them all the hype and attention, and it's nothing but sunshines and butterflies. But however, even though it sounds good, this is where it starts to become a problem. When we find that next so-called star player, what typically happens? Every single fan, sports analyst, and whatever you want to call it, they start watching their every single move. This also means we start to put ungodly expectations on them that aren't even physically possible. They either have a 5-touchdown game or score 45 points in a basketball game, and now we expect them to do that every single game. And even though some of them are good enough to do it more than one game, it's just not even possible to continue to do that throughout the season. And that also leads me into my next point. Once they do it more than once and almost on a regular basis, we start to expect that out of them. Anytime that so-called player drops 40 points, we don't even get hype about it because we're used to it. And now that's even a bigger problem because it starts to create a ton of pressure on that athlete. And pressure is a privilege, do not get it twisted, but having that pressure on you 24/7, it's not ideal. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about a high school basketball player that has the most pressure on him since, I think, LeBron James. Basketball season is right around the corner, and like I stated, having pressure is a privilege, but that also creates a lot of anxiety for a player and a lot of problems. They feel like they gotta go out there and drop 40 points every night just so they don't get clowned on social media, and they also start to press way too much during the game. They don't look like themselves out there, and it looks like they're not even playing for themselves. It looks like they're playing for other people, and this is a big problem. And in today's video, we're gonna talk all about that. So if you're new to the channel, I see you. Hit that subscribe button, join the family, and leave a like for more. And without further ado, let's dive straight into it. Do I really have to tell you who we're about to be talking about in today's video? We're going to be talking about the young king himself, Mikey Williams. Look, before we dive into this, I just gotta say, we gotta give my man some credit. He's an absolute beast no matter how you want to put it. He averaged 30 points per game on varsity as a freshman. That's borderline ridiculous. And that's also a main reason as to why he's gotten all this hype he has today. He started getting all this attention when he was in roughly 7th to 8th grade because he was just dominating his competition no matter where he went. From the start, he proved that he's the alpha male. He started dunking in middle school. I don't think you guys quite understand how impressive that is for a middle schooler to dunk when he was only roughly 6 foot. Anyways, continuing on, I'm gonna try to keep this short and sweet. Long story short, he's a hype machine. He's got all the hype on Instagram, Twitter, the YouTube mixtape companies like Balls Life and Overtime, and many more places. I wouldn't classify Mikey as an overnight sensation because he gradually built his fame. It wasn't like he woke up with 2 million followers on a random day. He's just slowly and steady built up his fame, so we gotta give credit and props to him. And with him averaging 30 points per game last year, this was a great achievement. Do not get me wrong, but it wasn't good for him either. The reason it wasn't good for him, in my opinion, was that now people expect him to average 30-35 points in his sophomore season. With him just transferring to a new school, I hate to break it to you, but more than likely, that's just not going to happen. And that's not a big deal, but here's where the big deal is. People expect that out of him, and that's the problem. Let me just put this in perspective for you guys. If Mikey goes out there this season and drops 30 points one night, no one's really going to talk about it. They're just going to be like, oh, he was doing that last year. He should be doing 35 or 40 a game. Whereas last year, if he was only averaging 20 points per game and he was dropping 30 at night, this year people would really start talking about it and be like, oh yeah, Mikey's definitely improving. Unfortunately for himself, he created these expectations and they're just not even reachable. And that's a good thing. You want people to expect a lot out of you, and if I had to compare this situation to anyone else's, it would definitely be LeBron James. Ever since LeBron was in high school, people have put the most absurd expectations on LeBron, and unbelievably, he somehow lived up to them. And right now, the same is going for Mikey, and if he can live up to them, it'll be a great story. Just for like when LeBron drops a 30-point triple-double, people, you know, they're just like, it was a good game, nothing crazy. That's how they're gonna treat Mikey Williams. Now, with all of that being said, here's where the big issue comes into play. Back then, when LeBron was going up, social media was not around like it is today. You know, LeBron couldn't go on Instagram or Twitter after he had a bad game and see what people were saying about him. And it's vice versa. If he had a good game, he couldn't go on Instagram or Twitter and see if people were saying how good he was. And that's a good thing. If you're an athlete, there's one thing you do not need to do, and that's pay attention to your haters and critics. Also, you don't need to get a big head and pay too much attention to your supporters. You just need to keep grinding and have that motivation. Mikey, on the other hand, has all the social media in the world. Anytime he has a good game, he can go see what people are saying about him. Anytime he has a bad game, he can go see what people are talking trash about him as well. Look, you can say what you want, but bottom line is, this is not good. I've seen Mikey tweet stuff about getting hate comments, even responding to haters with 2 to 4 followers on Instagram. Like, dude, you have 3 million followers. Why are you responding to somebody with 5 pictures and 4 followers? It don't even make sense. Let me take that back. I understand why, I couldn't imagine getting as much hate or whatever you want to call it he gets, because it's unreal. He probably gets tired of it. Well, I don't want to say probably. He does get tired of it and just wants to say something back. But when you're in the shoes and spotlight like he is, you just can't say anything or respond back. If you've been keeping up with the channel, you know that Mikey recently played in a tournament this weekend and played in 3 games. And going into this tournament, I was thinking of one thing. The thing I was thinking about of what's going to happen if Mikey plays in his first game, second game, or even his third game and he doesn't really ball out that much. I was thinking, how is the social media world going to react if he doesn't drop a 40 piece or even 30 points? And if I'm being honest, no hate to Mikey, but I really didn't expect him to drop 30 points because he's with a new team and they was playing some other good teams. And unfortunately for Mikey, that's exactly what didn't happen. He only scored 15 points the first game, 14 the second, and 25 in the third. For your average sophomore, that's remarkable stats, and they'd be jumping out of the gym and be so happy. But we're not talking about an average sophomore. We're talking about Mikey Williams. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He didn't look that great, and matter of fact, he really didn't even look that good. I know I've said it, but I'm going to say it again. It was his first games on a new team. They don't even have that chemistry right, so I really didn't expect him to do that much either. But however, I knew if he didn't play that great, he would be getting a lot of hate online, and a lot of people would be very quick to say he's overrated. And what do you know? That's exactly what happened. We already made a video talking about how one of the games was a very bad look for him, so if you want to go check out that video, go check it out. But yeah, I'm not going to get into all that too much. If you don't want to go check out that video and get a brief summary, I'll give you one right now. Basically, long story short, he was playing on ESPN2, which is live national television, against the #1 player in the country. And the first half was decent, but the second half was just atrocious, and he had a very shaky start. He wound up starting the game shooting 3 for 12 from the field, but he cleaned that up and finished the game shooting 6 for 16 with 25 points. I know what you're sitting there thinking, 25 points, Matt, that's pretty good, but if you watch the game, it was not a great performance, and a bunch of those were garbage buckets. Me personally, I don't care whether it was garbage buckets or not. 25 is 25, so it wasn't even a bad game at all. As you know though, during the game and even after the game, people were riding this man and saying he did not deserve to be ranked as high as he is. People were saying all kind of crazy stuff. I'm not going to go over it all because you get the point. One big high school basketball page on Instagram that goes by the name of Recruit Zone, go check them out if you like content on Instagram. They posted a picture of Mikey dropping 25 points, and someone commented under it and said Mikey's overrated but Chet is different. BB and Country added to that and said, yeah, Mikey had 25, but most of it was late in the game and the game was already over. Odd Future said Mikey was horrible. He shot 38% from the field, had countless turnovers, and played no defense. ... He shouldn't even be top 10 in the rankings, and his performance was embarrassing. Right under that, Jawan said Mikey overrated. He played too pretty, like he's scared to get hit. Chet a beast. So yeah, you get the point. I'm not gonna read all the comments because they were not saying nice things about Mikey, but yeah. Just like people were very quick to praise him when he dropped 77 points, people are also going to be quick to tear him down when he doesn't perform as well as he should. Another page on Instagram that goes by Top Recruits, go check them out if you like content as well. They also posted a picture, and I want to read this comment off to you guys. Sham Hoop said he'll be fine. He's speaking facts. Only playing together for 3 weeks now. Only a sophomore. A lot of teams in that tournament been playing together for a while now. Team chemistry is key. His turnovers could go down, and he should facilitate the ball more because he low-key a good passer. See guys, that's what we need. Constructive criticism, not tearing down our athletes but building them up. I hate to inform you guys, and a lot of people forget that this kid is only in 10th grade. Y'all are treating him like he's a senior. A lot of you 10th graders out there aren't even on varsity, so you need to just shut your mouth. Going on with the Mikey comments, Wargu said I was there personally, didn't do so hot. And he's referring to Mikey. That's all the comments I'm going to read, and of course there was a comment, oh, Mikey can't play against comp, but that's just stupid and ridiculous to even say because he's been playing high level AAU his entire life. I gotta say, during the games he was forcing things way too much, and I think a lot of that has to do with you guys and his fans. He reads the comments, he reads the posts about him, he knows that people are expecting him to be the best player in high school basketball history. And with playing on a big stage like national TV, I just think he tried to force things way too much, and that's why he was taking some crazy shots and having a ton of turnovers. Bottom line is, I just think we're putting way too much pressure on him and we just need to let him be. It would be awesome if I could sit up here and say, let's take the pressure off Mikey and boom, it goes away, but it's just gonna be there his entire life, just like LeBron. The only thing he can really do is to go out there, be the best version of himself and continue to work hard. He's got a bright future, and I know he's not gonna let this bother him because he's a straight up dog and killer. I'm curious as to what you guys think. Are we putting too much pressure on him, or is it the right amount? Let me know in the comments. And as always, that's gonna wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. If you're new to the channel, I'll see you. Hit that subscribe button, join the family, and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. Already said that, whatever. I messed up my outro. I'm out, y'all. Peace.